Good morning on Monday, September 19th. It's time for another episode of the 359 podcast with Ben Fox Rubin and Roger Cheng. Good morning, guys. How are we?
Morning. Hey. Happy Monday.
Are we live? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
I'm trying to find out. We're having some issues with the YouTube dashboard, and I can't guarantee anything right now. So if you're out there on YouTube and you can see us, bless your heart.
Yes. Bless your heart.
Let us know.
How?
No, you're right. The comment section, we can't.
That's what I'm trying to queue up right now without the live stream dashboard, where I'm just getting errors on our account. I can't tell you.
All right. Well,
we may or may not be live, but thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening. Either way.
Right. This is thrilling. This is like that cat in the box that you don't know if it's alive or dead.
Schrodinger's cat.
Right.
We don't know if the audience is alive or dead.
We don't know. We may be talking to a cemetery full of dead bodies. But
that's really dark.
I know.
We took it dark so early in the week.
Luckily, that may not have actually gone live. So
it's true.
I can make as many horrible jokes.
Or there could be 100 listeners right now going, "Why are they talking about Schrodinger's cat?" All right, so for those of you who are listening, just in case you're listening, we will be talking about Samsung and the Galaxy Note 7 because this is a story that won't die. Even if Samsung wants to die.
It is blowing up.
Hey, actually, we are live.
All right.
Oh my God!
Hey.
My horrible joke made it.
I want to send out just a big apology and thank you to everyone who has tuned in under the incorrect moniker. I know it says the Applebite Crunchy Podcast. There's some error. Again. There's some error going on in the back end of YouTube, and luckily I'm able to patch in from a back end. So the stream is live. We apologize to you who we have tricked into watching us. We're not.
None of us are Brian Tong.
And more strongly, we apologize to Brian Tong. This will be fixed
Brian.
Afterwards. But we are today talking about
Apple and Samsung. And lastly, a little shout out to our road trip package.
That's right.
The interview I had with a UN Undersecretary General.
So we are still CNET. We are still talking tech. We are still taking your questions. We are not Brian Tong. We are not the Applebite. The metadata I cannot control at my current time, and I apologize for that. So thanks for sticking around. Otherwise, go ahead and take off. We understand. No hard feelings, and have a good day.
Yeah, sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
Apologies to Brian Tong.
Let's move quickly on this one so we don't squat the Applebite for too long.
Yes.
Too long. All right. Let's go ahead and record our podcast.
Yep.
And in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day and all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Brian Tong. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
So sometimes being the fastest doesn't mean being the best. In its haste to get the Galaxy Note 7 out before the iPhone 7, Samsung may have rushed the process and pressured its suppliers to meet ever tighter deadlines, as a result causing this battery debacle that we're seeing now.
Yep.
I mean, Ben, is this a surprise to you?
No, it makes perfect sense, and it's really, really unfortunate. I mean, the other problem is this is an unforced error on Samsung's part, because if they didn't rush it, and they could have strategically taken the tact of letting the iPhone come out first,
right,
and then surprising and delighting people with a much better phone afterwards. But their strategy was, let's try to steal Apple's thunder before they even come out with the iPhone 7, and that was part of the problem.
Right, obviously, like looking back, that seems to be a pretty bad strategy. But I mean, do you think the idea of sort of jumping the gun and kind of beating Apple to the punch was a good strategy to begin with?
I think that if it were to work, it could have been really, really effective.
Right.
The reviews across the board seem to be really, really good for the Note 7. People were really excited about it. It came off of the S7s, the Galaxy S7. So things seem to be really clicking for Samsung. So this seemed like it should have been a really good move, but instead it blew up in their faces.
Right. I mean, quite literally. And yeah, like they had, cutting edge tech. They had an iris scanner, glass.
They packed all sorts of stuff in there.
They literally packed stuff way too tightly,
they
just a little too tightly.
Yeah.
But they packed in a lot. It was actually, barring the whole explosive part, it was a good phone, right? It was a pretty attractive phone.
It still could be. I mean, maybe they bounce back from this. I'm not really sure. I mean, what do you think?
I think they're going to take a hit for a while, a big perception hit, more so than even the financial impact. I think they're going to be the butt of jokes for a while, right? But I mean, they're going to bounce back. I think by the time Galaxy S8 rolls around next year, it's not going to be as big of an issue. I think people are going to forget about it at that point.
Yeah. So the iPhone isn't without its own problems as well. The iPhone 7, there's something called Hissgate or Hissingate that's already starting
I don't think
off.
we're quite at Hissgate levels.
Hisgazi.
So what's happened? What surfaced on social media reports that certain iPhone 7 units will make a hissing noise.
Yeah, which I heard the YouTube video before we went on, and it sounds really, really annoying.
Yeah.
So you would think smartphone
It's like
technology
it's letting out air.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was able to expel that air a little bit more easily with the headphone jack, and now everything is ruined.
Just to be clear, though, we don't know how wide a problem this is. There's a YouTube video and some people on Twitter who have talked about it, but I don't personally know of anyone who has an iPhone 7 who's complained about this. Mm-hmm. Scott Stein, who's had the review units, hasn't mentioned anything about a hissing sound.
So it may or may not be an issue, as opposed to the exploding Samsung phones, which was a huge issue.
Legit issue.
Yeah,
yes.
This might, lose some air really quickly. It might not be that significant.
All right. Lastly, I had a chance to talk with the UN Undersecretary General in charge of humanitarian aid, Stephen O'Brien.
A mouthful.
That's a mouthful. I know. It's this is definitely the continuation of our road trip package we've been talking about all summer, and this is basically the same day as the UN is convening to talk about the refugee crisis. President Obama's in town. He's going to be addressing the UN tomorrow. But yeah, it's just an interesting summary because he kind of looked at tech and said, it's not the magic bullet, right? It's not the solution.
Oh, totally.
Because it's just such a big problem.
Right. I mean, that was what I'd seen too, was that tech definitely helps alleviate certain things, but at the same time, it doesn't make people's lives any easier in a lot of other ways.
Yep. So for more about that, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
And again, we want to apologize. We know we're not the Applebite. There is an error going on in the back end of the YouTube Live
I'm gonna
dashboard.
get an angry note from Brian later on.
We are going to get angry note.
Yeah.
And we're sorry, Brian. We're not trying to steal your fame. We know we're nowhere near your level, but
yes,
this is the only way we could go live.
Together.
So regardless, again, if you guys want to go ahead and cut and run, no hard feelings. We're still here taking your questions comments about
let's take a couple quick questions.
By the way, I like that you said it was going to run out of air. What was that comment?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I caught
threw in as many puns as
I was trying to rush it through. We were kind of running out of time, but I wanted to applaud that nice little pun.
Thank you very much. I've been doing this for quite some time, since February.
It sounds like the next Deflategate.
Deflategate.
Yes. Oh,
Antenna-gate. Well, Deflategate is a completely other sphere of influence or a different
but
arena.
Still, it's all kind of related. It could be Deflategate. It could be the phone deflating.
Oh my God.
Start shriveling up.
Just fall apart in your hand.
So the Samsung phones explode and the Apple phones implode.
Yes.
Maybe. We
really have no idea.
Roger was being fair to Apple in that we don't really know how significant the problem is quite yet, but
But yeah, if you have a chance, check out our story on CNET. There's also a YouTube video there about showing off. Well, not showing off. Basically, it's just the sound.
Right.
You can hear the sound that it makes.
My Samsung TV emitted high-pitched noise for years when it was on or off.
Was that noise like
remember.
By Samsung phones or?
No, it was just this very high pitch. It was like, just very, and I would have to,
flat screen?
when it was off. Yeah, it was a flat screen and I would have to unplug the television to get it to stop doing it. It was super, super annoying. So anybody with a hissing phone, I really feel for you, because I eventually just got rid of the television.
Yeah.
I was like, to hell with this thing. So, yeah.
Do you guys have access to that sound? Could we bring that up and play it back?
Yeah.
I might have it.
There is a video embedded on the CNET article, so you can actually get a better example of what we're talking about here. But if we can get a sample of it to play back, it literally just sounds like a balloon.
Can you pull it up?
Coming down.
And
I mean,
there it is.
Who knows really what that means, if anything? But it's annoying.
So yeah, let us know.
You played it for me before I came in here.
Let us know if you have an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus and you're hearing this hissing noise. Can I play it?
By no means is it. Here.
Are you catching any of that?
Yep.
So it reminds me of just sounded like white noise or something.
Yeah. It's hard to convey over microphone, but check out the article if you want to get it. And we do want to know if you guys are experiencing the same issue, anyone else out there, and if it's led to anything else more significant, because like a phone hissing, not the end of the world, but it does suck.
Oh, it's super. it's also worth noting in context that this whole concept of Bendgate, which was for the iPhone 6, that a bunch of folks that were doing unboxings on YouTube were able to break their phone because it was bigger. They were just able to like bend them. And so that was also, but that ended up being a non-issue. It was really like, yeah, you can break your phone if you try really hard.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the phone is defective.
Some of the comments.
It did lead to subsequent generation phones using harder aluminum. So the
I did
phones
not
are
know
actually
that.
more durable now as a result of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some are saying that more important than this Hissgate, which, by the way, Apple equals snake. I like that comment. Is Scratchgate.
Oh, Scratchgate. Well, I mean, Jet
Is
Black,
that with the
right?
Jet Black?
That's
Yeah.
with the Jet Black?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, look.
We knew that going in, though. They
were very
warned
upfront with
everyone.
it.
which is stupid and kind of messed up. Am I
Oh,
right?
I agree, but you know what you're buying.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Look, if you
kind
put
of
your-
like a piece of
But
jewelry.
if you put your phone
Yeah,
in the
that's
case,
a good way to look at it.
I think someone compared it to like a limited edition sneaker. That's why it's like the rare Jordans you line up for at the Nike
and just
store.
keep them in the box.
Yeah, you never
just put
use
them
it.
away.
Well, you put it in a case, right? You put it in like an Otter box or something. So
Yeah, and then not look
and never
at the Jet
never
Black.
see the Jet Black. Just know that you have it though.
Props to Dustin Colwell, who is comparing the snake and Apple to the Bible story.
Oh,
I can kind of get on board with that.
Okay, wow. We have some very
like the
smart.
temptation.
We have some very smart
The
commenters
temptation.
from.
temptation aspect. I like.
Of the shiny apple.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Shiny jet black apple.
We
There
could run
go.
with that. Ew.
Yeah.
That's like jet black apple.
Yeah.
All right, if Adam and Eve ate that, that's their own problem.
That's true.
Yeah. Definitely.
What else we got going on, guys? Anybody else want to ask any questions about Apple, Samsung, or
the UN.
the UN, which was a
UN.
fascinating story, and I got
Give it
to
a try.
accompany you for part of that.
Yeah. Yes, it was definitely kind of a different experience, right? As a CNET reporter, I don't often get to go to the UN and interview high-level officials to talk about things like humanitarian crisis. I'm usually talking about Samsung or Apple, so it was kind of a trip. I mean, it's sort of an interesting take you had on sort of the role of tech, right? It's 'cause we're surrounded by people who believe tech is changing the world, that it's sort of the solution to everything. And this guy is definitely has a more objective view. It's sort of like, yeah, it's one tool in our toolbox, but it's not the solution. It's not the easy fix. It's great for getting the word out more so, and it's great for connecting people, but it's not the end all.
Yeah. In Greece, it's like people were able to get information, but it didn't change the fact that so it didn't change the fact that they were stuck outside in like really bad environments. Like your Android phone is not going to be a house,
right? Right.
and or food or shelter.
And the discussion I had, like getting the UN perspective, we've been spending the last couple of weeks talking to refugees and getting their perspective. The UN, his take was tech doesn't just encompass things we think about like mobile phones, but like water purification tech or technology involved with building bridges, things like that. Like
Much
it
broader.
was much broader than I was expecting to have a conversation about. So it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
In the comments, some are saying that the hiss only occurs at the power up, thereby they don't really care that much.
Oh
When you're charging it?
no! When you're turning on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd be interested to hear more about that. We have none of us here have experienced this
Yeah.
in real time yet. We're obviously just like, an ear to the ground on this story.
Scott has spent the most. Scott Stein, our editor, has spent the
yeah.
most time with the iPhone 7. He hasn't seen any problem. But
If you are experiencing a hissing phone, get in touch with us.
yes,
Yeah,
we
please.
want to know.
Just like, throw into the comments or something. You can email me or Roger.
Yeah.
Mine is ben.rubin, RUBIN, @cbs.com. So,
That was a foolish move.
Yeah, I don't know why
That's
you just
fine.
did that.
I mean, it's on Twitter already, All
right.
You can find my email pretty easily.
I make
Fair
it pretty difficult.
Okay.
I'll send you spam later.
I know.
Good.
I'm gonna sign you up for so much stuff right now.
Did I say that? It's actually Roger.Chang.
David in the chat says he's experiencing a hissing phone. David, tell us more about how this occurs. If it only in power up,
when does it occur?
And
is it everlasting?
Please email us.
Email Ben.
Email me, of course. I would love to
Did
be
you
on
say
top of
CBS.com
it.
and CNET.com?
No, I don't have a CNET.com.
Oh, really?
I have CBS.com or CBSI.com.
Oh. Okay.
Everybody send Ben terrible spam.
That's fine. We've asked the trolls to do more. We were like, yeah, just attack us in the comments, please. We want you to.
David says it happens under a heavy load. So, assuming he's running lots of apps at the same time.
That shouldn't happen.
Well, that could be the processor running, and then the whatever. Is there a fan? There's no fan in there. Is there?
No, there's no fan. So, absolutely not. There's no room for a fan.
Processor being taxed. I don't know. Like,
seems unlikely.
It does seem unlikely.
It's weird, but that's great that we actually have a guy that has a hissing phone. I would
assume that it's not great from his perspective.
No, but like that provides certain because we only have this YouTube thing and then just a couple Twitter complaints, so it provides at least some level of
the fact that it's broad enough that one of our random viewers actually has the same issue. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe Hissgate is a thing.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We just blew the thing up right now.
Yeah, way ahead of the curve.
Forget Samsung. Here's the new controversy.
Definitely.
All right, probably about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thanks again, Tong.
Sorry again to Brian Tong. Sorry again
thanks for the comments, though.
Oh, yeah, fantastic to have you all along for the ride. And again, sorry, we're not trying to fool you with the title. It's another, again,
although
for
I might
those who
start
joined late.
dyeing from my hair and working out a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll both do that.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, we should.
This was not an intentional clickbait. This was not an intentional, try to steal Brian Tong's thunder.
You're a very nice guy.
Well, Brian Tong has a hell of a show. And
he does have a hell of a show.
We're proud of our show, too, but we're not trying to pretend like we're his show. There was some error on the back end. I can't change the metadata. I'll change it afterwards. And again, thank you for sticking around. And it's been fun.
Yeah. If you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, TuneIn. All right. See y'all tomorrow.